Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all week 13 of the NGDL. Today we're going to be facing Ghostmer and the East End Gogoats. That's kind of funny, huh? Because in the last battle we just faced Traveling Gogoat, now we're facing someone from the East End Gogoats. Isn't that kind of funny? That's kind of telling in all honesty. But anyways, yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, so the teams. Well, I kind of feel like talking about the teams this time around, or at least my team. So, what I brought: Volcanion, I brought Braviary, I brought Helilisk, I brought Cradily, I brought Hitmontop, and I brought Dragonite. Okay, so why did I bring these 6 mons this time? Well, I brought Volcanion because honestly I needed something that can take out this what's it called, Stunfisk, and Volcanion seemed like the ideal choice in all honesty, because in the last battle that we had between me and Ghostmer, basically this what's it called, this Stunfisk was easily eating up a lot of Cradili's hits, so I was like, okay, you know what, let's just get this Volcanion in. Not to mention, looking at the rest of his team, Volcanion, if it gets a positive matchup and he's forced to switch out, something will take a lot of damage, so it doesn't just it does a lot of damage on any switching basically. I brought Braviary because I mean it has U-turn, so if he decides to switch out again, I'd probably get some momentum or something, and I'd be able to get a matchup accordingly. Same goes for Helilisk, just for momentum, and also I just brought it with Glare in case I can slow something down. So because the Mega Alakazam kind of does outspeed the entirety of this team in all honesty, and I kind of don't have a lot to outspeed it. As for Sharpedo, I didn't bring him this time around because since it's against a Mega Alakazam, if I try to do that whole protecting thing again, he can easily predict that and get a substitute up or something. So, and I didn't want to deal with that honestly, so I didn't bring him this time. So I also brought Cradily because what I wanted to do was also maybe get Stealth Rocks up and then force him to switch out a lot. And I brought Hitmontop. This Hitmontop is also just to... Actually, interestingly enough, this one's not an Intimidate variant. It's actually a Technician variant. It's so that it can hit Mimikyu really hard with Bullet Punch. And yeah, I brought Dragonite as well just because if Dragonite gets one Dragon Dance up, I think it does enough damage to everything after it's taken at least rock damage, and the Mimikyu's Disguise is also gotten rid of and whatnot. And I was hoping that Braviary or Helilisk can get that done basically. So yeah, as for his team, yeah, it's exactly what well, no, okay, let's be real here. The only thing I didn't expect on this guy's team was the Hariyama, but everything else I did. I expected Mimikyu, I expected Zam, I expected Entei, I expected Stunfisk, and I expected Tentacruel. So lead wise, yeah, okay, that's where the problem starts. It's only a matter of what he leads with that I need to actually have something going for me right now, because if I mispredict a lead, I could have issues. But we're about to find out right now in this battle. So yeah. Yeah, we face Ghostmer, yeah, also known as Nathan. This is actually Untraceable Strain's friend, so I was like, okay, that's cool. So he's gonna lead off with Tentacruel, and I lead off with Volcanion. Now, at first, I didn't think this would be an issue in all honesty, but this is where the issue starts. I go for the Earthquake right here. Yeah, I carried Earthquake on this just in case this Tentacruel would be an issue, and also just because I didn't want to use Earth Power on the off chance he has Calm Mind on his Alakazam and I can still hit it on the physical side. And yeah, because the thing is with Alakazam is that if it has Calm Mind and it has Recover, I will never be able to take it out, and he can easily just set up in my face, and I didn't want that, so that's why Earthquake on Volcanion. He went for Toxic on my Volcanion, and then here he goes for Protect. So honestly, a Toxic protecting Tentacruel was something I wasn't expecting in all honesty. I was expecting this thing to at least have Toxic Spikes to set up. Maybe knock off the item I carried, but nope, none of that stuff happened. So right out of the gate, this thing took a freaking Toxic. Oh, and I'm Life Orb too, so that's honestly withering me down even quicker, and that's not what I wanted either. So here, he's gonna switch out now, going to Hariyama. I went for another Earthquake thinking maybe he'll stay in, but honestly I don't know what was I thinking with that, honestly. He does not stay in, he just goes into Hariyama, take more Life Orb damage, and a third turn of Toxic, I believe, which already puts me at half, which really sucks. So just with this Toxic plus Protecting alone, it already cuts my Volcanion HP in half, and it's all because of that Life Orb I slapped onto it. Reason why I slapped it with Life Orb was because a Life Orbing Volcanion with Steam Eruption was going to definitely be enough to one-hit KO a Stunfisk, but it's really not coming in handy just yet, in all honesty. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna hard switch into Dragonite. This was a bad idea, obviously, but I had to do it, honestly, just because I wanted this thing to get taken out already. Because this Hariyama I had no switch-ins for, by the way. This was the only thing that could take a fighting type move, and plus it might have wanted to go for Fake Out, which it did. I went for Dragon Claw here afterwards. It didn't do. It didn't take it out, and he gets a free close combat. Thankfully, he didn't have Ice Punch though, because if he did, that would have probably been bad. Here, I decided to take it out with an Earthquake now, in case he decides to switch into Mimikyu or something, but he does not. He just lets Hariyama go down, which is good. So here he's gonna go into Entei now. Now this Entei can be fast. It can be. So I was like, okay, I decided to switch out right here. I think I go into Cradily here. So I go into Cradily. I think here he goes for the Sacred Fire. Yeah, I was definitely expecting a Sacred Fire, and this was the only thing that could have taken it well, honestly. And as you can see, it doesn't do a whole lot. Like, I expected a lot more damage, but thankfully it doesn't do that much. So here is where I kind of misplay. Instead of going for the Recover right here, I go for the Stealth Rocks, and the reason why I went for Stealth Rocks was because seeing how little that did to Cradily made me think, you know what, he'll probably want to switch out and go into something else. So I go for the Stealth Rocks here, and unfortunately, looking at the damage that this Sacred Fire does with the burn, it's gonna definitely be enough to 3-hit KO me. So I was like, damn. So I got the Rocks up, which is good, but now I have nothing for this Entei now, because this Entei is kind of it's fast, and I got nothing for it. And this is the worst part right here, because look, I go into Hilo this gear just to get some damage off. And I'm going to pop out this Electrium Z, which is boosted by Thunderbolt at least. So I was thinking, okay, with this I should be able to at least, if not take it out, at least put it in range where my Dragonite can at least take out this thing with the E-Speed. If he doesn't carry it, because honestly I still have to rely on it not carrying E-Speed. But I think my Dragonite can at least take one from Entei, since this Entei doesn't seem to be choice banded, because if it was banded, it would have probably done a lot more damage to my Cradily, in all honesty. So yeah, here's where the problem starts. He had a Yapapa berry in this on this what's it called, the Entei, and he gets a Stomping Tantrum on me, and I was like, oh shoot. So I sent out Dragonite. The reason why I went into Dragonite again was because seeing how it was a Yapapa berry, which only works if you're invested in defense, I was thinking, okay, I should maybe be able to outspeed this. But then I remembered that my Dragonite is also not fully speed invested. It's actually invested in some HP, I think, just to take hits better. But after losing the multi-skill and being under half, I don't take anything, in all honesty. And also because he had Stomping Tantrum, I was also thinking maybe he doesn't have Stone Edge, but he does. So I was like, oh my god. So I go into Hitmontop. Yeah, it's because the problem is that this Entei, literally I have nothing for it. Like, I had no switch-ins to it. I had nothing to just simply take it out. Everything I had on this team really just got bitten in the rear end by this Entei. I went for Toxic. That first Sacred Fire really mattered because I wouldn't have been able to get the Toxic off on this thing. And I just tried to go for Bullet Punch just to get some damage. Well, actually I went for Bulk Up then Bullet Punch, because Bullet Punch was literally the only attacking move I had. This Hitmontop build was actually specifically for the Mimikyu, but because I was never able to match up with Mimikyu, this set basically failed on me. So yeah, I just go for Bullet Punch just to get some damage. He goes for Sacred Fire. I was kind of hoping it would miss at this point, because I think that would have been the only way to take out the Entei. So yeah, and here I lose him on top. So here I think I go into now Braviary, because this is literally the only thing that can take this thing out now. I didn't want to send it in until I got into the Mimikyu, but now I can't. Now here it's because this was really hard, honestly. This was a 50-50. I didn't know if he wanted to switch out to Preserve or not, so I just went for Shadow Claw just to see if I can take out the Entei with it. And I didn't want to go for Return because I wanted to I didn't want him to just switch in the Mimikyu afterwards. And not to mention, I could have U-turned, but again, I didn't expect him to switch out. I was hoping he wouldn't switch out, but he did. So now I'm just forced to switch in Volcanion because Shadow Claw's not going to do anything to this Stunfisk. So now he's just going to go for Thunderbolt. There's no reason for him not to, so yeah, it just makes sense. I was just hoping he wouldn't go for it, in all honesty. So now I'm just going to send out my last Pokemon and hope I can at least take this thing out with a Return. If not, then rip me. So yeah, I go for Return here. From the looks of it, it is a 2-hit KO. Looking at the damage. Now the only thing I was worried about here was if he's gonna also try to preserve differential and send out Mimikyu. But at the same time, he doesn't know that I'm Scarfed, so, or maybe I don't think he knows I'm Scarfed anyway. So Here I just go for another return. Thankfully, it does not switch into Mimikyu, and I'm able to at least take out the Stunfisk. But unfortunately, he does get the static. Not that it matters because I'm Scarfed and I'm locked into return, which he can easily send Mimikyu in for if he wanted to. And even if he never switches it in, he would eventually have to, and I would still not be able to do anything because I can't. So here he's just gonna send out Alakazam. I thought this would be the Mega, but it actually isn't this time around. It's actually a Z move, as you can see right here. And this thing is obviously gonna take me out. He honestly didn't have to go for the Psyche MZ in all honesty, just to take out my graveyard. It was already under half thanks to the freaking Thunderbolt from Stunfisk, so him going for this Psyche MZ is just annoying. Just because, I mean, why do you have to do that? Did you just really wanted to style on me? Like, fuck you. Sorry that I just said that, but no, real talk, good game to Gossamer. That was well, it was a pretty bad battle, unfortunately. But, I mean, he played well, and he prepped probably better than I did. I thought honestly that I prepared well for him, but honestly I feel like whatever I made, it was too specific. Like, certain situations needed to happen in order for it to work out, and unfortunately nothing worked out with what I made. So I was the one that misprepared, in all honesty. But oh well, what are you gonna do? In all honesty, yeah. Did I mention that we lost 4-0? Yeah, because we did lose 4-0 to this guy right now. Which, it really sucks. But what are we going to do? I am not enjoying this league like I thought I would. In fact, I'm actually having a hard time keeping up with this league. Like, I actually am starting to kind of regret that I even left the Talent Squad League just because of the way the Nacho Gold Digger League has been going, in all honesty. But I mean, I decided to join the Nacho Gold Digger League in the end, so who's to blame? Myself, obviously. But anyways, I'm digressing again, so I'm just going to say thank you all for watching once more. Hope to catch you guys in the next battle, and hopefully I'm in a better mood. But for now, just take it easy.